I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I planned to do a day one review for Split Fiction. This was my most anticipated game of the year, but my local store didn't get their shipment in on time, and I wasn't comfortable doing a day one review on a tighter schedule than what I typically do. But don't worry, I will have a review for this game out later next week. I'm really looking forward to playing this. But in the meantime, I figured, let's talk about Monster Hunter Wilds some more. This is my third video covering this game. It's a game that keeps fluctuating in terms of how much I'm actually enjoying it. If you haven't yet, you can go check out my beta review and then my day one first impressions review after that. But if you didn't watch those already and you don't want to watch those, let me catch you up to speed on my thoughts real quick. This is my first Monster Hunter game, and I was pretty impressed after playing the beta for the most part. But after I got my hands on the full release, I still liked it, but a noticeable amount less. I didn't think the core gameplay loop was gonna win me over like I thought it was going to after I played the beta. But again, here I am for part 3 of my Monster Hunter Wilds discussion, and now this week the game has kind of won me over again. I'm actually finding myself enjoying it more than I'm not enjoying it. But anyway, let's get into it. In this video, I just want to talk about some of the things about Monster Hunter Wilds that I find myself latching onto. I want to talk about some of the core reasons why I find myself flip-flopping yet again, and why, as of right now, I'm mostly enjoying this game, despite the huge number of criticisms I do still have, and I will talk about some of those criticisms in this video as well. So I'm going to get into it. I'm going to show you some raw gameplay, but before I do that, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, I talk about video games all the time, day one reviews, other video game discussions, but enough with this introduction. Let's talk about Monster Hunter Wilds. So when it comes to Monster Hunter Wilds, when I played the open beta, I thought the core gameplay loop was gonna hook me in, the never-ending cycle of slaying monsters, then crafting gear, but when I first started playing the full release, it was pretty clear to me that wasn't gonna be enough to pull me through, especially since I felt like most other pillars of the game were severely lacking. A criticism I still have, by the way, I still don't like the story. I still don't like this style of voice acting, and when it comes to the gameplay, it can be pretty clunky, pretty janky, and it can be kind of hard to get used to. But as the game progressed for me, as I fought another monster and then another monster after that and then another one after that, I realized I was liking the game more and more and more. The monster designs are badass, and they seem to only get even more badass the deeper into the game that I got. Even though the story itself was a cringe fest for me, I still found myself eagerly rushing through it, not to get it over with either, but because I was always excited to see what the next monster was going to be. And then there's the armor sets. Each time you kill a monster, you get to craft armor specific to that monster's resources, and I don't know why, but I wasn't expecting the gear to be this cool looking, from headgear to gauntlets to capes to your weapons as well. Even weapons within the same category have a distinct look and feel to them, and the crazy thing is that I like most of the designs. In most video games, it takes me a while to find a gear set that I actually like, that I actually want to wear, but in this game, I have a hard time deciding what to craft next because I like it all. So that right there tells me I like the core gameplay loop more than I thought I would. Again, the monster hunting and the crafting, I'm told that's the main 2 selling points of this video game franchise, but on the flip side, I now gotta talk about some aspects of this process I don't like. The monsters, even though I love their designs and the core combat is fun, so far, every fight has felt practically identical. Attack, 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 target the wound, it gets up and it moves to a new location, do it again, then again a third time. It's already becoming a little too repetitive for me, and the gear, even though I like it and it's fun to craft stuff, I haven't really felt a use for all of the different stats. Yeah, I stay alive longer if my armor is stronger, and I deal more damage if my weapon, has better damage, but I haven't really changed my gear that much, and I've fought a whole bunch of different monsters, all with different strengths and weaknesses, so it's disappointing to me that despite the game having a whole bunch of different gear and a whole bunch of different stats to manage, it doesn't really matter that much, at least so far in my experience. And I do like the core combat a lot. I said this in my day one review, but it's even more true now. All of the weapons are fun and distinct from each other, and crafting new weapons is fun for, again, mostly aesthetic reasons in my opinion, but the game just has so much jank that it's hard to really just enjoy the combat, you know? It's big, epic battles with really cool looking monsters, and your character looks dope as hell, and your weapons as well, but half the time, it's like you're fighting the controls and the clunkiness more than you're fighting the monsters themselves. But yeah, sorry this video is a bit on the shorter side. At this point, I'm just kind of documenting my shifting mentality when it comes to Monster Hunter Wilds, but I still can't say that I love the game. I can't say I'm officially a Monster Hunter fan, but I can say as of this week, I like the game more than I dislike it, which is a big shift from how I felt last week. I still haven't tried any of the multiplayer aspects yet. For all I know, that'll turn me into a bona fide Monster Hunter freak. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Monster Hunter Wilds this week. If you've been playing the game, let me know what you're thinking about it right now. Are you still liking it or disliking it as much as you did at launch? And if you're watching this video and you still haven't played this game, let me know. Is that a trend you intend on continuing, or do you plan on playing it eventually? Either way, I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments down below, and thank you for watching, especially if you watched this far.